Happy Wednesday. I had to get my days right because I know that um I just I'm a little thrown off, but today is Wednesday because I got a busy schedule for the remainder of this week. I actually took a few days off, y'all. I got to get some things done for Auyanna Plants, for Flossie Farms, which is what we farm under. Um, and so I just needed to take some time off. I went to some courses and classes today in the Atlanta area. And I wanted to share with you all. Let me tell you. So last night we had a huge thunderstorm that rolled in around about, it had to be close to 10 o'clock. And when I tell you, it sounded like it dumped a whole lot of rain. So that kept me from not having to water the garden today because with the amount of rain, I think we got a pretty good amount. My rain gauge broke last season. I just been looking just for the replacement, not the whole thing, and it's as though I can't find it. But I'm just doing like a quick garden walk. I wanted to share with you all some things that I spotted when I came out here earlier to cut off one of our lunchbox bell peppers that was yellow. So these are the yellow lunchbox bell peppers. If you all can see, let me tell y'all about bell peppers and what I noticed. Just from staying here and then from also staying in the Savannah area, coastal Georgia. A lot of the plants will just kind of stay where they are for a while because a lot of the plants, when it gets over 90, they'll either slow the growth or they will stop altogether. So we started these from seeds. These were actually part of our spring summer grow kit. And I promise y'all, if you're not subscribed, go ahead, hit the subscribe button because I promise y'all, probably come end of August, September, these are going to be loaded with lunchbox peppers. We grew these before from seed. I mean, they're still getting blooms on here, but it just seems like when the weather starts to cool just a little bit, then we really get a lot. But by then, probably next week, y'all, probably tomorrow, after I go to the post office. So I wanted to tell y'all our fall kits are shipping out. If you're not on our email list, we have the fall kits, and I will, after this video has rendered, I'll put the link. You can go to auyannaplants.com and just click on the seed collection. But what I wanted to tell you, get the 25% off. It's always free shipping on our seeds, but use code fall25. We got some nice things. We always do flowers, vegetables, herbs, just like with this kit. We have a total of 6 seeds. You get the gourmet lettuce. It's like an alfresco mix, a global mix, arugula, and it's another mix in there too. We're growing cilantro together, and we're also growing the bonbon calendula. You'll see all of the pictures on auyannaplants.com. Just click on the garden seeds and you'll see those. But that's not what we're talking about today, y'all. I just wanted to quickly show you. So the other day, this is a new variety of tomatoes that I am growing. It is called Rapunzel, and I'm testing it out. They were not ripe like they're ripening now, but for some odd reason, I could have been hungry too when I came out here. But when I first tasted the first one, I was like, it's okay. But I picked one off today and tasted it, and the flavor is really good. So I don't know if I'll grow this one again, but it's good. It's good for a cherry tomato. The only thing I didn't like about it, and I'll show y'all the tag again because y'all know I'm trying to be better about labeling. Now, what I will tell you is the flavor is still not as good as the big husky cherry tomato that we grow from seed every year. But what I'll tell y'all, I've been having a problem with these darn leaf-footed bug nymph, and I need to start coming out here. I need to I need to start coming out here with my gloves, and I don't. But we've been having a problem with them, And so the flavor is not as good as the big husky cherry. Y'all, I just be having, oh, they're like really bad today. So I'm glad I checked. This flavor for a cherry type tomato so far has been like really the best for me. I'm just going to be honest with y'all. Since I'm off, it is my goal, and I'm going to try to make a video. I got to start my sauce. So a lot of the Roma tomatoes are ready. They're ripe. This is a determinant. Remember, determinant, they put on all of the tomatoes at once. After it's done, you can go ahead and pick them up. But oh, look at these leaf-footed bugs over here. Oh, they just, oh, and they're making leaf-footed bug nymphs too, y'all. That's the thing. It's like they keep reproducing. But we're gonna try to make some sauce over the next few days because we got a lot of ripe ones. So this is the bed that I started first. We started these from seed as well. So we started these from seed. A lot of the ones ripening. We have basil in here. Y'all, look at these mushrooms. Look at this. This was not here yesterday. So if you're just coming in, y'all, a lot of rain last night. When I tell you it dumped, it dumped. Like I heard it and I was like, good, I don't have to water the garden today. So I planted this one first. And then I waited a few weeks. And then we got the big husky cherry. I'm doing that, y'all. I'm often. But over here in the front, I planted these about maybe 2 weeks after I planted the other ones. So these are not quite ready, but they're coming. They're starting to change. And then I have I want to say these are the black cherry tomatoes right here. So y'all know, or if you don't, I'll just let you know that I just got finished eating a salad. Like I seriously can eat a salad every day, which is why I'm so excited about the fall kit because of the different varieties of salads in there, or lettuces that we're growing this season. And again, even if you're watching the replay, AuyannaPlants.com, click on Garden Seeds, the collection. Put in fall 25 so you can get 25% off, and it's always free shipping. But that deal won't be for long. We're just going to do 1 week of that deal. But I can eat a salad every day. So it just feels good to be able to come out, harvest the tomatoes. So I grow a lot of cherry tomatoes. We've been gifting a lot to our family and friends, and then a lady that I met here in the area, she has a CSA program. So we've been coordinating with each other with what fruits and vegetables extra that I have over. Now, what I will tell you all, and they have not germinated, is I went ahead and they planted squash, and they wasn't sure if it'll be able to harvest in time. So what I'm going to keep repeating, y'all, I know it may sound redundant if you've been following us for a while, but you got to know your first fall frost, your last spring frost, and you got to know your growing zone. So that's basically what I told her. Type your zip code in, because a lot of squash is like 55 to 60 days, but I can't tell you if you're going to be able to harvest them or not, because I don't know. I don't know where, if you're further south, maybe in Florida, then yeah, you should have enough time. Even me right here, I will have to like start it like right now, but I should have enough time based on when my first fall frost is. So now that we've moved, we're in the Atlanta area. It's around November the 15th, I want to say. And y'all know I've shared with you, when I do start seeds, I don't count the day that I put the seeds in the ground. I count the day that it actually like germinates. But this is what I want y'all to remember: as we keep getting closer and closer to the fall, the temperatures might cool down a bit, which can affect it. Um, we're losing light now, which can possibly affect it. So things may grow a little bit slower. So that's why it's really good to know those dates. So you will always hear me say, know your first fall frost, your last spring frost, your growing zone. Know those dates, okay? Know when you can plant certain things. And what else? And build your soil. So those are like the three things, because you have what's cool weather. Hey Shirley, how are you? So you have cool weather, and you also have heat loving things. And so in the next couple of weeks, I'm not going to put them outside, but we're going to soil block some pansies, some snapdragons, some leafy greens. We're going to sow cilantro because that's part of the kit as well. The cilantro and the bonbon calendula. So we're going to sow those, and then we are going to finish harvesting. Strong words. I'm real pissed off at these leaf-footed bugs. So y'all know last season our issue was Japanese beetles. They were an issue too with the roses, but I felt like they were not as bad. I did 3 application of milky spores for the roses. This year, what I'm going to write in my journal is these darn leaf-footed bugs. I mean, I feel of disrespect that they're doing right now. I'm like, if y'all don't stop. But that's why, let me tell y'all this, because I had another lady that asked me, why are you not harvesting them? So I really like my tomatoes to ripen on the vine. I do, because I could tell the difference with the flavor. Anything is, I mean, homegrown is going to beat store bought anyway. And it's okay. Let me show y'all an example. It's okay if you pick your tomatoes when a lot of people use the term when they start to blush. So it's okay because these are not quite ready. So when they start to look like this, it's okay to pick them and let them finish ripening on the like your kitchen counter. That's fine. Will the flavor be as strong as if you ripen them? In my opinion, from what I've grown, no. That's why I like to let them. Y'all know how you see like vine ripened tomatoes? That's why I like mine to like ripen on the vine. But if you continue to have little issues like these leaf-footed bugs and the leaf-footed bugs nymphs, because they cause damage, and I can see that on some of my tomatoes because they take those back legs and they start piercing through your fruit, and it can just mess your fruit up. So sometimes you have to decide, do I want tomatoes at all, or do I want to let the leaf-footed bug nymphs keep damaging them? Some of these are damaged. Look at them. Just look at them, y'all. Look. Just look at them. Just disrespectful. Now, this is one of the pests. If I could get them like back legs with my hand, I do. And they give off like a little smell or something. I don't know, but I'm gonna make a note to start bringing my gloves out here. But also, y'all, let me tell y'all about. So we got jalapeno pepper growing, and I did a big picking of those last week, and I sent them down to Chris. So we got jalapeno peppers. We got more banana peppers that's growing. But I really want to share with y'all about this garden salsa pepper. Let me tell you, I am going to grow it again next year, but um let me show you how it's supposed to look. So here's some. They're called garden salsa. Y'all look it up. So it's supposed to be in between, like not, so I don't like hot pepper at all. So they're supposed to be like in between a jalapeno pepper, a little bit lower on the Scoville units. So they're supposed to be lower than, so basically they're not supposed to be real hot, just a little bit. But it says that each one could be a little like one hotter than the other one. So this is how they look. They kind of come like this. This is how I harvested them. So you might pick one and it might just be like really mild, but you may pick another one and it might be like a little bit hotter. Well, evidently, I picked one and I tasted it and I was like, oh no, this is not bad at all. I could deal with this. I'm still going to grow it again. But honey, I put another one on another salad and I was like, okay, wait a minute now. My mouth is starting to do something funny. So the thing with the garden salsa is one may be super mild and one might have a little heat to it. Now, I know for the people that make so Scotch bonnet, I know like one lady, I had some Trinidadian scorpion. No, is it scorpion? Like, we'll just say Trinidadian peppers. And I was telling her a jalapeno was a little bit too much for me. And she was like, yeah, you're a wimp. So this garden salsa to her is probably like really wimpy. But to me, it made me like stop chewing. And I was like, wait a minute. And I actually had to get up and get some water because I was like, okay, this is getting a little bit too hot. Now, also over here, we have cayenne pepper. So I grow cayenne pepper. Let me tell y'all why I grow it. And I really need to state these. This is why I'm coming out here because I'm making like an inventory list of all of the things that I really, really, really need to do over the next few days. So we got lots of blooms. We got cayenne pepper growing. I do make pepper sauce for my family because they love to eat it with like a lot of the collard greens and kale and different things like that. But I also make it and put it in oil, make a cayenne pepper infused oil, and then I'll make a salve. Let me just put this disclaimer out. I always got to do this. Always talk to your doctor. I'm not a medical doctor. I'm not giving medical advice. And do not put this stuff near your eyes, okay? But I always make a salve with the cayenne pepper for muscle soreness. But then I also dry some. And when I'm making my juices, I put just a little bit in my juices because cayenne pepper can really assist with like opening up the arteries. Okay, so like some people who may have just say high blood pressure, always talk to your doctor, especially if you own high blood pressure medication. But it could talk to your doctor. I just have to say that it could help assist with lowering the blood pressure. And it's been said that I'm not a medical doctor. I have not had this happen to anybody that I know. It's been said. That's why I say do your own research, look it up. Like if somebody is having a heart attack, try to get cayenne pepper powder or something like that under their tongue until like the ambulance or you're able to get them to the hospital. But remember, y'all, take this as entertainment purposes only. Okay? Now, let me tell you about these tomatoes right here. These are they're supposed to be yellow patio tomatoes. They have grown way, way, way bigger than what the package says. When that happens, I say they're happy in their spot. But what I will tell you is they're prone to splitting more than any other variety that we're growing in the garden. We had that rain last night, and so they split, y'all. Should I be taking them off? Probably, yeah. I probably should be going ahead taking these off. And it could be an influx of rain. But remember, this bed is on drip, so it gets pretty steady water. But one of the things that I did right in here is it is really prone to splitting. So you just got to go ahead and you got to harvest these. So in the morning, what I'm probably going to do after my walk is just clean this plant up. Just clean it up and just let the green ones, look at them. They just all over my tomatoes. And y'all see how they be like 2 by 2, 3 by 3? Just, I don't know. But I'm just going to let these over here, back here, look, I stuck my hand in a spider. Let them finish ripening. That's what we're doing. Here is another pepper plant that I started from seed, and I love it because of the variegated leaves. This is called the candy cane pepper. Now, again, if you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button because I'm telling y'all around end of August, September, this plant is going to be so big. But the reason why I just love the candy cane peppers, they're good. They put you in the mind of the lunchbox pepper. So they're going to be like a red and green stripe. We've grown these before, but I just love the variegation of the leaves in the garden beds. I really do. I just think that that is very cool. A few weeks ago, we started some more zinnias from seed. This was like a mix. I did not know what color. We just put them right here because what we did was our salvia. Remember, if you want to have bloom, so I cut them down because I saw the new. Probably could see a better example right here because I cut these down a couple of weeks later. So this was really high, but it was also leggy. I think I did a live on that. So what I did was I cut it down to the new growth, to the base of the plant. So now you see new blooms coming up. And so they'll get about 2 feet in fall. And so I did these the same way, but while they were coming back up, I said, let me just cover the empty space up. Let's put some zinnias right here. But the thing is you don't know what color you're going to get, but these are some pretty colors. Also, if you got the spring kit from us, I'm hoping that you are seeing beautiful blooms in your dreamland zinnia mix, because that was part of the thing. But the mix, when you do like a mix, you never know what color you get. Now I will tell y'all, and y'all can let me know in the comments, I think I like this one better. I think I like these colors a little bit better, but you never know what you're gonna get, honey. I gotta do something about this. This just getting a little bit, it's getting a little bit too dense. Things can start living in here. I gotta get that together. But I think I like this one. So this is more like a salmon, a yellow, a deep pink, like a peachy orange color on this side. And this side is more like just the hot, more like a hot pink. I know it may look red, but it's more like a hot pink, and then like the cream or the white. And then we also put some over here in these containers. Y'all, as I'm walking through, I'm like, oh girl, you just gonna have to take up space and just start working with it. It's like I got a lot to do, and I want to make some sauce as well, and I want to make some pesto as well with the basil. Now this one is really nice and vibrant over here, and we cut this back the same too. These mosquitoes are so disrespectful out here. I don't know what their problem is. I'll keep y'all posted. I'm gonna do something. I've been seeing it online. Let me know if you've heard of it. So I got a dark bucket. I'm gonna put some water in there and put the mosquito dunks in there. Some people say that like draws them to them. Now someone said put like old leaves and grass clippings in there. Apple, I don't know. I'm gonna start with the I'm gonna start with the leaves and the grass clippings, because Chris just cut the grass. So I'm gonna take this right here and I'm gonna put it in the bucket and put some of those mosquito dunks in there, and maybe it'll just draw them in there so that they can just stay away and off of my hand. They are just like, oh, it's like they're really bad this year, and I didn't think they were gonna be this bad because we had snow here. So it's like, okay, now I gotta also come out here and deadhead it. So last season we started these dahlias from seed. One has toppled over. We started these from seed, and people just told me, you're in the Atlanta area, you got to dig them up. So I didn't dig them up because I didn't have the time, or maybe I didn't make the time, but they came back. That lets you know. So we had a few of our dahlias come back that we put in the ground. Now, not all of them came back, so I guess it just depends on the variety, but these we actually started from seed last year. The bees love them, but they do need to be deadheaded so that they can stop putting energy in the ones that need to be cut off. Now, this is what I really wanted to share with y'all today, is Pollinator Island. And although it doesn't look bad, this is not. So Chris was supposed to cut down this crepe myrtle. He cut it down, but like the root part of it didn't come out. And so the crepe myrtle has bloomed. This crepe myrtle is not supposed to be here. It's not bad, and I'm not about to go and fight with it right now. I'm going to wait until the winter time to cut it back, because I was supposed to cut it back, but I'm like, oh, it doesn't look super bad. But the crepe myrtle is not supposed to be here at all. We have the salvias, the butterfly bush, and the false baptisia right here. Y'all know I gotta look where I'm stepping over here, because I tell you, I do like it that it's full, but I don't just like walk up on stuff like that. And then we had, if you remember last year, we got some 50-cent plants from Tractor Supply Store. The y'all, what do you call these? Coreopsis. We got those, and out of like 6 of them, because I gave my dad 2. Out of 6 of them, we still have 4 left. Now, these are getting covered, but this false baptisia is really pretty. We did a short on it. When it blooms in the spring, it is super pretty. It's like purple and yellow blooms, and it is getting full. I was being hard headed. Now this is one of the plants. They was like spaced 4 feet apart, and I was like, nope, I'm gonna space it 3.5 feet apart. It is full, but I do have also some of the Shasta daisies like over here. Like a lot of things need to be deadhead, and the black and blue salvia is coming back. I do want to maybe move that because this is like pushing up. But like I said, it's I want to step back and show you. It's not bad, but I didn't do the maintenance that I should have done. See this coreopsis, you see how it then just tumbled over, and it looks to me like spider mites are trying to get in here. Butterfly bush, I need to kind of prune back. So this is what I have to do, y'all. When it gets like this, and I'm telling this to myself, and I'm also telling it to you, and I've shared this with you. Just do what you can, even if it's just 20 minutes a day. Because I got some other plants in here too that's starting to bloom. Can y'all see that red back there? Those are pretty. I don't know what the name of them are, but I had these supports up, and it's like they're going over the supports. But do what you can, y'all. Like don't get upset. If you just have 15 minutes, do 15 minutes. If you have 10 minutes, do 10 minutes. Just do what you can, because it'll still like snowball and continue to work out. It's a lot of places since I've had to drive into work now that I haven't given a lot of my attention to, because when I get home it's still super hot, and then I'm just like, I got to do this, I got to do that, I got to cook. But I just come out here and just kind of make a list. Like the other day, I pulled all of the rest of the cherry tomatoes in that front bed because a lot of them had damage. We had a couple of hornworms, and I'm just like, okay, it's time to pull it. Which means that when fall comes, that'll probably be one of the first beds that I plant. Now I'm going to walk back here because this is another section that I haven't really. Now let me tell y'all this with perennials. Once you can kind of get them established, you don't really have to babysit them. But if y'all remember, I was working on this area. It looks like I just stopped one day, y'all. That's what it looked like. Oh, you just stopped. And I did. But we got to get it together. And I'm just going to do it little by little. I see some of the roses are starting to come back. But this was one of the areas where I was supposed to go talk to the bulk company, go ahead and get someone to come and just give me wood chips back here. I started planning some stuff, but like I said, if I just take 20 minutes and just say, today I'm going to clean up this road, that's how you got to think about it. Or, this weekend I'm going to do this. But we do got some roses coming back, y'all. Look at this. This is what we put in our tea blends as well. But it look, yeah, it needs some work. I'm so glad that I put down, this weed fabric, because it probably would be looking a little bit more needing work. So I just got to come and clean around the plants like this. But we are getting like some more blooms to come back in. But that's what I'm saying. I'm like, you know, sometimes you just got to give yourself some grace, and you just got to say, I'm going to do what I can today. If I can get out in the garden and work for 30 minutes, that's what I'm going to do today. And so that's what I'm going to do Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and hopefully a little bit Sunday. Now, my goal is, especially for tomorrow, because I think it was supposed to be cloudy, it's still going to be like lower lower 90s, upper 80s. But you got to think about that heat index when it comes to Georgia. Like the temperature might be, 91, but it may feel like it's 105. So if you do come out, you got to stay hydrated, y'all. I'm learning that. And they've been putting out so many things about heat stroke. So you definitely have to be careful. But I think, as bad as I want to get back here, I'm thinking that what I'm going to do, and let me show y'all my hibiscus. So this was where the garlic was. and it's getting back bad. It's getting back bad because this was one that when I planted the garlic last season, I was like, you ran out of space, just make some more space. And this was the space, but we got a lot of garlic. But this is our roselle, which I think I'm going to come out here and cut these off tonight. That's what I'm going to do. Cut some of these off tonight so that I can use in tea. And it looks like one of my gem then checked out. But the marigolds is doing real good. But one of the gems have checked out. So I may take about, and sometimes I can look at things and tell how long it'll take. So I may take about 45 minutes to get this back right. But I want y'all to see this. This is the roselle hibiscus. And we started these from seed. I put them in the ground just a little bit late, but they still doing what they supposed to do. But we are going to work on that. And then I cut back a lot of our herbs. This was our oregano and our sage because I know it's going to come back. And I also cut back some more of the salvias. But that's my plan, y'all. And I wanted to share it with you. But I did want to share the Rapunzel. It's starting to ripen, and it's actually pretty good. I'll have to think about my spacing next year because I'm going to say this and then I'm going to go. The only thing about Rapunzel that I wasn't liking is don't put this picture up here because can y'all see that? Wait a minute, let's focus it. Look how many tomatoes are like on a trellis, on a vine. And I just don't I feel like it doesn't depict that. Like this is probably, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, some 8, some 10, like this. But the way this picture got it, when you think about Rapunzel with long hair, it's like you're gonna have these long trellises, and I don't feel like the picture is true to the growth. But it does have a good flavor. Like I said, if you're just joining us, it's not as good as the Big Husky cherry, but it does have a good flavor. Another thing that I am noticing too, y'all, is some of the tomatoes, like the skin on some of these, and I'm making notes, is a little bit thicker than the other. You know how sometimes you got like thin skin and a little bit thicker skin? But like I said, those are good. We're going to clean those up tomorrow. So my plan, and I've let my okra, I'm like, girl, you got to get out here. Now, I'm going to cut these off. And I have to be careful when I touch okra, y'all, because it makes that, and when I harvest the hibiscus, I start itching. So I got to be careful. So I'm just going to like move this out the way and show y'all. But this is too big. Y'all see that okra? That's too big. Last year, what I did is just I let it start going to seed. It was towards the end of the season, and that's how I got my okra seeds as well. But okra is one of those ones. If you see it, I don't even see one. Like, to be honest, like right here, right now, I need to go ahead and harvest that one. That right, I need to go get my shears right now and harvest it because I'm afraid that when I come out tomorrow, it'll be like this size right there. And my mom is supposed to be coming back this weekend, and it was my intention that I could send her back with at least like a little basket of okra because I know that she loves to use it on things like she'll cook it with her peas and her greens. And I don't know if we're gonna have some more, but we will have some. We'll have some banana peppers for her because she does like that. So I just wanted to just kind of walk y'all through. I'm just doing a nightly walk. We're gonna harvest some more herbs. We're gonna have our whole basil, so that's done processed, and we're gonna have that on our website hopefully by this weekend. But again, if you want to grow with us this fall, after this video is done, I am going to put the link in the description just in case you're watching the replay. Only for a week, and today is July 23rd. July 23rd. For about a week, we're going to have 25% off, and the shipping is always free with our seeds, but use code FALL25. And we're growing, I'm going to tell you what's in the kit. You can get the regular kit or you can get the deluxe kit. So The seeds are all the same. The only difference with the deluxe kit is you're going to get the seed starting trays and the labels to go with it. That's the only difference. But we're going to get Thai warming lettuces. I think it's like City Market. Y'all don't quote me. Let's just go online. And I don't know. Now, as soon as I walk in, I'll be like, oh, yeah, that's what it is. I know it's global. City Market, arugula, and something else. And then we're doing the Bon Calendula, which is really pretty flowers. And you'll see that the some of the pictures were from my garden last season, and then we're doing the cilantro. And the way I do it, y'all, is I think about what's easy to start from seed, no matter what your level of gardening is. And then I always like to grow vegetables, flowers, herbs together. Like, here's a great example. We got banana peppers, we got okra, we got some phlox in the back, we got some chives, and these are scarlet runner beans where the seeds was gifted. You know, the same thing over here. We have jalapeno peppers right here that are growing. We have marigold, and then we have thyme like right here. This is not how I was taught, but this is how, after I started growing for years, how I prefer to have my garden. I'm telling y'all, my dad comes over here and he was like, why you got all these flowers? And I'm like, because I like color and because I want these flowers. Like, I want color. It's nothing wrong if you want to plant like one row of whatever is your favorite. It's nothing wrong with that. But I just like to intermix. And then, like I share with him, some things can help ward off pests. Now, evidently, this basil over here ain't doing a good job with these leaf footed bugs, but basil is said to enhance the flavors of tomatoes. Now, I will tell you that my tomatoes are good, but homegrown tomatoes are good and flavorful anyway. So you just always see that just kind of mixed in. We got some winter savory right here. We got some zinnias. We got some marigolds. The pepper plant right here, and then another pepper plant, tomatoes. So we just kind of intermix everything. But I always tell people you have to do what you want. Do what you want to look at too. Like, if you don't want to look at no flowers in your garden, if you don't want to look at herbs or you don't use herbs, don't plant them. Don't. I'm telling y'all. And only plant things that either you want to look at, or only plant things that you're going to eat. I don't eat okra, but I grow it for my mom and I grow it for my youngest daughter. I'm not, I don't know. I keep saying I'm going to try okra again, but I ain't ready for it. And if it makes me itch the same way when I mess with those leaves, I don't know if that would be a good thing. Marigolds bring a lot of pest killer bugs, like you say, and they look so pretty. Yes, yes. Yeah, right. And I'm glad that you put that, because the marigolds do help with like pests. Now, some varieties I have grown, like the gem marigold, they they really are a strong smelling variety of marigold. And I found that out because I was like, what is that smell? So I grew gem marigold last year for the first time because somebody had it in their garden, and I was like, oh, that's so pretty. It's really pretty. But I would walk by and I would be like, what is that smell? So that's when I said, it depends on the varieties. Some have a more stronger smell that the pests don't like than others. And remember, in order to keep your blooms like all season long, and I'm saying that because I need to get on it, y'all, but we gotta clean this out first. I'm not about to walk over there right now. I don't have my hoe with me. But like, all of these need to be deadheaded because you see new blooms are coming on, and believe it or not, although these are on their way out, the plant is still like using energy for these. So once I get these off like that, then they can keep making like new ones. And I still feed my garden because a lot of your fruiting plants, like your tomatoes, like your a lot of them need some good nutrients so that they can keep on. So all of this rain, it's time for me to go ahead and feed my garden. Y'all know I've shared with you I use like liquid tomato tone. I've also used the Neptune's brand of liquid fertilizer, Dr. Earth's brand of liquid fertilizer. You have to Arbor, we are also an affiliate of them too. And what I have to say about this is you have to like monitor your plants, test out a few, see which one works better for you in your garden with in each season. Because the Neptune's seaweed and fish fertilizer, I love that on my leafy greens and fall and in the spring. Like I could really, really see a difference with those. But your fruiting plants like this, I'm going to come in and I'm going to feed again. Like they're starting to get blooms. And so pretty soon I know that we're going to get a lot of jalapenos. And we, like I said, we harvested quite a bit last week I did from all of them, but we're going to go ahead and feed them some more. So I just wanted to just kind of take y'all through the garden with what I have to do. I'll probably come back on later on this week, just share with you what I a bed that I worked on the other day where you could see like I cut this is the fern leaf lavender that we started from seed, but I as you could see I did a lot of deadheading, a lot of cutting back. I pulled up some things. I pulled up those tomatoes. I went ahead and staked some of the peppers that we had, and so I'm going to work on this one tomorrow, harvesting a lot of these tomatoes because we got to get our sauces made. We got to get those made up. And a lot of these are ripe, and I need to get them away from the leaf-footed bugs. And since these are determinate tomatoes, maybe not tomorrow. I cannot believe how these mushrooms have up. Y'all know I don't play around with, if I can't identify, I can't even tell you what they are, but you got to be careful with mushroom. With mushroom, I'm like, I'm not about to play with that. Now that one, I will buy the mushrooms. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get some sauce made, and just do a little cleanup in the garden. What I will tell y'all, I'm a little bit disappointed, but I shared with you that some text me and said they were having a problem with their bush beans as well. Now the arugula is coming back up, but because I let it go to seed. I did save some seeds, but some was dropping as I was pulling. But look, now if I wanted it to do that, it would have did it. It would have. But it smells, y'all. I love arugula, but we planted like beans, and I'm like, I planted beans over here, and the person that texted me said she was having problems getting hers germinating, and I said, it's funny you say that because this is all I had germinated, but I got some more. I'm just going to resow them and see. I don't know. I've been keeping this area moist, so I'm not sure. So we'll see, and we'll see what's what. Hold on, y'all. I got a couple. I gotta put my reading glasses on. We started these from seed too. A lot of these were struggling, little pest damage there, but they'll be okay. Um, Aurora. I hope I'm saying your name right. My cat destroys my plants. Yeah, you gotta watch them. You gotta watch them. Somebody says it look like African marigolds. Yes, and I have some red gem this year. And when the wind rustles the leaves, it really gives away strong aroma. Love it, almost as strong as my scented pelargoniums, which is the geraniums. I think is that the same as the geraniums. We'll see. But yes, I'm glad that you said that because yes, the gem marigold is very, 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 very strong and it's not like it's like I could walk past here. Like I would really have to like, okay, let me like put my nose on here and it's a little smell, not a lot, but I'm telling you the gem marigold, it is very, very, very fragrant. It should be, as a matter of fact, I might just plant that again next year because with the strong fragrance it has, it should be absolutely no pest by those gem marigolds. Y'all look up that variety. It's more of a like a ball, like it forms into like a ball, and that's why I grew it last year because I wanted to be kind of like the ball basil. But when I tell you, and I think I grew it in this bed over there, but I'm telling you, you will walk by and you will be like, what does that smell like? Wow, they are really, really strong. So yes, they are strong, the gem marigold. But I just love marigolds anyway. Like they just look, I don't know, they're just really, really they're really pretty. This was a flower that I didn't grow up on. Like I tell people, we had lots of azaleas. Like my grandmother had a lot of azaleas. She had the not marigold, magnolia, which I'm watching this magnolia, but hers was huge, and it always, oh, we always had to rake. Always had to rake with that one. Um, I got the gem marigold seeds from Botanical Interest. Look them up, Botanical Interest. So they have like a mix where it may be red, orange, yellow, and then I know they had the red one as well. Because the mix, I think I got like one red. It was more yellow and orange. So the reason why I'm saying that is just like these zinnias right here. So the mix you don't know until it blooms. But I know that last year I got a lot of red. No, I got a lot of yellow and orange and only one red. You may like if you want a specific color, like I know they did had red gem and then they had like tangerine. So they were separate. So you can either do the mix or that, but it's a strong smell and I got them from Botanical Interest. I like this new variety of marigold. It starts with a T. And I also like Proud Mary. It's the ball on Proud Mary Marigold is a little bit bigger, but I just like the size of the balls. These get about 10 to 12 inches in height and width. So I may offer these next season if I can get my hands on them in our seed kits because I have to plan ahead for next year. We got to plan ahead. And y'all remember, I always do things that are easy to start from seed, like not too finicky because I'm about to get ready to go plant my soursop seeds now. And I've started soursop seeds before and it could take up to like 60 days to germinate. Sometimes the germination is sporadic. So you just have to know with your seeds, even like with certain fall seeds. I tell people with spinach, and then I'm gonna go. So the spinach seeds, a lot of people is like, I can't get them to germinate. Spinach is one of those seeds. It needs to be. You either need to wait till it cools down closer to fall, depending on your growing zone. First fall frost, last spring frost, and you can direct sow. But when I start most of my spinach seeds inside, and I don't put them on a heating mat. They like the soil temperature around 68, 65 to a little bit on the cooler side for them to germinate. So I'm saying all of this is because when I do offer the seed kits, I try to make sure that first I test it and that it's like easy to grow because it's nothing more satisfying than seeing your seeds germinate. So I've started a second round of basil because I've let this basil go to flower. I'm not saying I can't use it, but sometimes the taste is not as pungent and I want to make like one more round of pesto. Now I should be, what I'm doing now is just like, because a lot of times when a plant starts to flower like that, the basil, it can alter the taste, but then it might slow the growth because it's telling the plant, hey, I'm finna make seeds now, so I'm not gonna keep like growing. So I started another round of basil, y'all, and I promise you in like 3 days, I was getting germination. And I try to make sure that the seeds that we have, like they're, because I'm telling y'all, just take it from me, all seeds from all companies, seed companies, are not the same. I've been buying seeds from a lot of seed companies, and it's just certain ones that I prefer. But when I try to get them in bulk like that, I do. talk to a reputable source, but we are starting to test our own seeds. Like we harvested our alpha calendula, and I saved a lot of seeds from that, but I got to test it. I got to do some testing before I can actually like offer them to you. But yeah, I just like to get seeds that are really easy to start. And some seeds take longer than the other. I'm waiting on these cucumber seeds that I started. We direct sow those. Look at this, y'all. Look, look, look. I just the other day. I'm telling y'all, I love starting seeds. And when I start seeds, I'm like, you better germinate. You better hurry up. So it was probably about maybe 3 days, 4 days ago. And so y'all, poor little bee, then buzzed itself out. And I have one more that another one. But now cucumber seeds can take probably about 7 to 14 days. It also depends on the variety because I planted direct sowed some here, maybe going on 7 days, and I don't see nothing. And these were we're gonna see. I'm gonna keep an eye on it. But yeah, y'all, well, let me tell you, I am serious about seed starting. I love starting my own seeds. Now that doesn't in a minute, but it's just something about being able to grow things that you may not find at your local nursery or garden center because they're just bringing in what sells for your area. So I like to just be able to grow different types of flowers, vegetables, herbs. Like I've never seen winter savory in my local garden center or nursery. A lot of people don't know about winter savory either. I just learned about this and the summer savory. And like I shared with you all before, to me, it's a cross between just put oregano, thyme, and rosemary all together. But a lot of our neighbors and friends in Canada, they say they use it all of the time. Like it's one of their favorite, and they use it around Thanksgiving. But I just like, y'all know I like things like rosemary potatoes and to roast different vegetables and things like that. So I'll add like a lot of the different herbs. I'll come and snip off some thyme, some winter savory. We had summer savory. I got summer savory on the front. This is hot and spicy oregano that I cut back, and so it's coming back again. But just I started a lot of these things from seed because I'm not going to see them at my local garden center from where I'm at. You're just going to see what sells, but be careful. Also, be careful and know your growing zone, and know your first fall frost and last spring frost, and kind of can grow because the seed companies is selling like worldwide. So you really want to check like the growing zone. I'm gonna tell y'all this. I won't tell you the store, but I seen these ladies the other day. They were buying these plants and they were so pretty. And I was like, oh my gosh, they're so pretty. But because I love to look at tags all the time, the growing zone said from growing zone 3 to 7. And I was like, I said, no, I better leave that alone because we're in zone 8A. So I'm not saying that it's not going to grow. I don't know really a whole lot. So let me just let me keep my $20 and let me keep it moving. But you got to be aware of things like that, especially if you like order online. And that goes like with the seeds that I am selling as well. We're in zone 8A, but some of our northern friends now, they have already started their fall garden because their first fall frost might be like September 30th or October 15th. So they've already started their garden. So you got to know those things for yourself. Don't look at what we're putting online. Don't look at what we're starting. Because like y'all just heard me say, I just started a second sowing of basil. Well, you might not have enough time to grow a second sowing of basil. We're just starting a second sowing of these cucumbers because I know they're about 40, 45 days, and I got enough growing time to be able to do it. But you have to know that for your particular growing zone. And the best way I could do, and the best way I could tell y'all is to go online, go on USDA.gov, put your zip code in, and they will tell you first fall frost, last spring frost, growing zone. And take that information and learn it so that when you do go to the store or you do order online, if it says zone 9 through 10, and you might be in zone 4A or 4 or 5, you may want to think about, should I be ordering this, or what makes it that way. And I'll tell you the reason why I say that is because I have a lot of tropical plants that says zone 9 or 10. But this just lets me know, yeah, I could grow it, but I'm going to have to bring it in because my winters get too cold. And they don't like the Barbados cherry. Is it the Barbados cherry or some type of cherry plant that I got? It doesn't like temperatures below 40. So I know that when my temperatures here in Georgia start to get around 40, I got to have a plan if I want to have that plant next year. So I'm going to have to bring it in, which I bring it into my basement, or if you got a greenhouse or something like that. So I'm not saying you can't grow it, but just be mindful if you order seeds, or be mindful if you order plants. Know your growing zone. Know, like, all of these. I know the basil. It is a heat loving herb. And I know that anything below 32, you're going to see these leaves turn black, and that's it for it. That's it till next season, until it's time to grow again. So you have to know things like that. No, somebody said, yeah, I'm planting collards. Well, don't tell people, no, you ain't supposed to plant no collards, because you don't know what zone they're in. They may be in zone 5 and it's time to plant collards. What I will tell people is, know the difference between your cool weather vegetables um, and herbs, and know the heat loving. So I always tell people, here where I'm at, be careful with the collards, be careful with the kale. I'm going to have to keep mine inside until it starts to cool down, because I'm afraid that if I put all that effort in there and it's still in 80s, y'all, lower 90s, they're going to immediately bolt if I put them outside and go to seed, because it's too hot for them. That's why our plants do that. So just kind of know those things. And I'm here to help you. So if you're new to the channel and you're looking for gardening tips and for me to take you around the garden like I've been doing today, go ahead, hit the subscribe button. Because my whole purpose is, I just want more people to grow, like start a garden. I'm not telling you to start this huge space. That's not what I'm telling you. We are retired military, and I started out in containers. That's why you'll hear me talk about containers so much, because it's near and dear to my heart. When I didn't have a yard, I had to grow in containers. I didn't have a choice. I grew on the patio a lot, and still grow. It's just a few things you got to adjust, and we've talked about that, but you could still grow. Okay, y'all, so the mosquitoes getting really horrible out here. Y'all hear them sounds? Y'all, when it start getting loud like this, I'm like, oh, okay, about to get night. Go ahead, go in. I had just got finished eating my salad, and I was like, ooh, I got to get up and move and do something. Like, I just can't eat and just sit there. I'm walking, but I'm going to go walking early in the morning, because it's still humid here in Georgia. So I hope you all have an amazing night. Stay tuned. We got some new videos out. Make sure you hit the button if you're not subscribed. And